because you, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard, it's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump, because you want him not to be successful so bad, you have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. You have to hope maybe they weren't effective. Maybe the way the Trump administration has represented them isn't true. So let's take half-truths, spun information, leaked information, and then spin it in every way we can to try to cause doubt and manipulate the public mind over whether or not our brave pilots were successful. How many stories have been written about how hard it is to, I don't know, fly a plane for 36 hours? Has MSNBC done that story? Has Fox? Have we done the story how hard that is? Have we done it 2 or 3 times so that American people understand? How about how difficult it is to shoot a drone from an F-15 or 16 or F-22 or F-35? Or what it's like to man a Patriot battery? Or how hard it is to refuel midair? Giving the American people an understanding of how complex and sophisticated this mission really was. There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that because of the hatred of this press corps are undermined because your people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible. And folks in this room are privy to that information because of the proximity here in the Pentagon. It's an important responsibility. And time again, classified information is leaked or peddled for political purposes to try to make the president look bad. And what's really happening is you're undermining the success of incredible B-2 pilots and incredible F-35 pilots and incredible refuelers and incredible air defenders who accomplished their mission, set back a nuclear program in ways that other presidents would have dreamed. How about we celebrate that? How about we talk about how special America is, that only we have these capabilities? I think it's too much to ask, unfortunately, for the fake news. So we're used to that. But we also have an opportunity to stand at the podium and read the truth of what's really happening. And the reality is you want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated, choose your word. This was an historically successful attack, and we should celebrate it as Americans. And it gives us a chance to have peace, chance to have a deal, and an opportunity to prevent a nuclear Iran, which is something President Trump talked about for 20 years.
Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Shabbat Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone on down, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord will let it be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. And today is Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026. All right, and I have an article I wanted to jump into real quick, and it's actually dated March 16th, so it came out yesterday. And it's surrounding this whole, of course, the main topic, all right, of the world right now is this whole Iran conflict, right? Or I should say this fomented Israeli, American versus Iranian conflict, and the side effects of these things as we are entering into the picking up of basically the heat being picked up in the World War III phase of prophecy. Okay. And this is titled, Trump threatens fake news media outlets with treason charges over Iran war coverage. And of course, as we read through this article, we're going to highlight a few points. Okay. But the first point I want to make is that we're actually seeing, as the scripture says, we're actually seeing this devil, all right, unraveling. Okay. There's information coming out, which we've been mentioning over the past week, that Bibi Yahoo was taken out. Okay, and one thing, when I heard it, all right, this was about a week or a week and a half ago. When I heard it, I told my brother, I said, "Hey, they saying that Bibi could be out of here, man." And he was like, "Where the source is at?" I said, "Well, I don't have any concrete source just yet, but it's coming from Iranian sources." And one thing I'll say so far is, from what I've seen, the Iranians ain't telling no lies yet. You know what I'm saying? So far, it's been the Western media, all right, that's been pushing all kinds of crazy ass propaganda. And it's not even the media right now. It's just more of the governments and the politicians that's pushing all kinds of crazy ass propaganda, which we said they were going to do. Okay, it's called wartime propaganda. They want to bait the people into supporting, all right, this illegal, all right, war. Okay, because it still wasn't approved by Congress. It still hasn't been approved by Congress, and they're looking for every way possible, all right, to get American people involved. And eventually, you're going to see so-called false flag attacks. I mean, it's a thing. Tucker Carlson mentioned it. Gerald Celente, he's mentioned the same thing, all right, because people see the pattern. Okay, everyone is seeing what's going on right now. Most people, I'll say, most Americans right now are not in support of America jumping into this war on behalf of Israel. And of course, the American public, the American government is pushing this narrative of, well, Israel is an ally and they're very important to us and blah, blah, blah. They don't really give you a real explanation as to why they are important to the American people or to America. They just say that they're our allies and they're important and we need to stand with Israel. American people are not trying to hear that shit no more, man. They saying that people from the ages of 15 to 34, 35, around there, Americans right now in that age range are predominantly against Israelis for the most part. Okay. And that's pretty much that range of people from 15 to 35 is people that have been alive post the truth coming out, all right, to the world, so to speak. Okay. So the truth came out back in the 1960s, late 1960s, early 70s, right? Specifically 1969 to 1970. And ever since then, you've seen a change in attitude of how people actually look at the 1948ers today. Okay. A lot of people are actually waking up to this, and that all stems from questions. You know what I'm saying? Questions that keep going unanswered. Questions that for so long, people weren't really asking because they didn't have a reason to ask. See what I'm saying? It was just like, oh yeah, that's just status quo. But then the prophets came on the scene, as the scripture says, an inquisition was made. Okay, the Lord was searching out, all right, the hidden things of Esau. All right, and one of the hidden things of Esau is his identity, hiding his motives, hiding his hand, meanwhile causing all kinds of hell upon the face of the earth, destroying the earth. Okay, and Bibi Yahoo was taken out, and I told my brother about it, and now they got all this AI videos coming out, and him saying random ass shit like this nigga goes and buys coffee like to prove that he's alive. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Why are you not in those Israeli military meetings? Those meetings that they be doing. Why he not there? Those press briefings that they be giving. Why is he not there? When the so-called war started, he was in league with Trump, giving speeches after speeches and telling the world what they're going to do to Iran, and Iran is the bad guy and they're terrorists and they've been doing this for 47 years, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? The media is not on their side, right? A lot of people are getting their news information from alternative sources like YouTube and TikTok and shit like that. So CNN and Fox, they used to run shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 70 years ago, they used to run shit. They were the ones running the households of American people because you have a television set in your house, they could get to you, right? They could influence your opinion, public opinion, propaganda, all right? But now that people are not tuning into that stream of propaganda, it's harder for them to control the narrative. Hence, you have Hexeth blaming the media. He said the press is the problem for all the shit that's going on. All right, and we're about to read this article here. It's just so comical, but those who are waking up to see what's going on, this isn't something new. America has always been the bad guy. Israel has always been pimping America to be the bad guy. But because of the media, all right, they were able to push a certain narrative that favored the bad guys. It's very easy to do. Okay, they use the media to do it all the time. They use the TV, the movies. They will make you sympathize for the bad guy in a movie. All right, they can do that. I mean, they have a show called Lucifer, and Lucifer is supposed to be the good guy in the fucking show. And as you watch it, they set it up where you as the audience, you're watching it, rooting for this nigga to win. You know what I'm saying? They put him in all these different challenges and shit, and then you rooting for him to win. That's the same thing they do, man. It's all psychological warfare. Okay? But ultimately, all those enchantments, the broadcasting of spells upon the minds of the people is all deteriorating. Why? Because the truth is overcoming the lies. People are starving for truth. Okay? It says, U.S. President Donald Trump has accused media outlets of spreading AI-generated propaganda allegedly fabricated by Tehran. How does that even make sense? What does Tehran stand to gain by influencing U.S. media outlets to push AI propaganda? The fuck? That doesn't even make sense. See, now they're saying shit that don't make sense. This nigga, he'll say one thing one day, and then the next minute he'll say another thing. Opposite, contradicting what he just said. He has no idea what the hell is going on. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, where some information came out where he was actually given a briefing, I guess, right? And somebody asked him a question, and then he answered and said, well, we didn't know that Iran was going to be bombing all these other neighboring countries like Qatar and, Kuwait or whatever, all these other countries that's around that area. He said, we didn't know that it was going to be hitting them niggas. We didn't know. I was like, this fucking idiot, bro. And I believe today, the counterterrorism, the head of the counterterrorism crew, I could just call him that, right? Something Kent, I think it's John Kent or something Kent. His last name is Kent. He resigned, and he stated that the reason for resigning is because he can't in good conscience continue to push on this propaganda, to continue this war, because Iran never was an imminent threat to the United States to warrant this type of attack that's pretty much sent the whole entire global economy into a turmoil. He said he can't do it no more, so he had to resign. Okay, he had to resign. But anyway, it says on Sunday he accused Iran of using artificial intelligence. Right, this is projection. This is exactly what projection it means. All right, he's projecting it. All right, something they're doing, they're saying somebody else is doing. On Sunday, he accused Iran, with no facts, no evidence, just says it. All right, of using artificial intelligence as a disinformation weapon to misrepresent its wartime success and support. That sounds more like the U.S. That sounds more like Israel, with all these BB Yahoo AI videos. The latest one I just saw is him having a conversation with Huckabee, and I'm like, this is so fake, bro. Like, it is so fake. It's not even funny. You have, I think his name is Mike Huckabee, right? And he literally says in the video, which is AI generated, he says in the video, the president sent me to come and check on you to see if you're still alive. What the fuck kind of weirdo shit is that? In the midst of war? Like, what's going on? So they're trying desperately to push this narrative that Bibi Yahoo is still alive. But we don't see him nowhere in real life. It's all AI shit. Proven, like, he's pushing AI to prove that he's alive. Most of the videos he's doing is almost like a mockery, like, oh, the people said I'm dead, so I'm here to show you that I'm still alive. Like, nah, bro, that's corny. All right, you at war. You should be focused on that, not what people think if you're alive or dead. If you're really alive, that's the last thing you're gonna be worried about. You're gonna be like, yo, bro, we out here in the midst of war, man. I ain't worried about people's rumors. But he's out of here, man. And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago in one of the videos I was doing, I mentioned that the Lord gonna take his ass out. Okay, the Lord's gonna take his ass out. Like, they think they're invincible, like nobody could touch him. The Lord he out of there. Him, his brother, his family, a bunch of his family members, boom, out of there. And the Iranians reported on it and said, we believe we've taken this nigga out. Okay, we hit some strikes and we believe that nigga is out. And ever since then, we haven't seen him in any public, forums, public spaces. Just a bunch of corny little AI videos. One of them came out, he had 6 fingers. So now he got to do videos debunking that, oh, I got 5 fingers, not 6. That's corny, bro. That's just more evidence that you are, what I'm saying, you're putting up a front to prove something. Okay. So it says here, Trump also threatened media organizations with treason charges. Here we go. Accusing them of knowingly colluding with Iran to cast doubt on Washington's decisive victory. If it's a decisive victory, there will be no doubt. You can't cast doubt on something that's decisive. It's done. I'm saying, like, if you won the war, you wouldn't be having people in your inner cabinet afraid and worried that this Iran war could go on, grind on till through September. If you had had a decisive win, why are we still talking about Trump talking about asking NATO to join in to open up the Straits of Hormuz? I thought it was done. I thought it was a decisive victory. It's over with. Propaganda once again. Reports. It says RT reports in a lengthy Truth Social post on Sunday, Trump alleged that fake news, quote unquote, fake news outlets had been spreading false information supposedly fabricated by Iran using artificial intelligence. This nigga here, bro. It says the fact is Iran is being decimated and the only battles they win are those that they create through AI and are distributed by corrupt media outlets, Trump wrote. Listen, nigga, if you have a decisive victory, which you don't, but if you did, then you wouldn't be blaming the media. Like, the victory is won. We don't care if the media is saying we didn't win it or we lost it. If we won, we won. We shouldn't be talking about, once again, inviting NATO countries to join in this war. This is, you're not enacting Article 5. Iran hasn't attacked the United States. The United States is not under attack. You provoked. You were on the offensive. Okay? And Israel is not part of NATO for that to enact Article 5. It's not. So it's a whole bunch of shit. And then these countries are pushing back. Predominantly European countries are pushing back. And obviously they'll push back. Just a few months ago, this dickhead was threatening to go steal Greenland. And majority of the countries in Europe were saying, yo, nigga, you're not about to do that shit over here, bro. We are not Venezuela. We're not going to allow that. He threatened to go take Greenland. And then he turns around and says, we will never forget you European Union countries that decided you're not going to help us in this fight against the world sponsor of terrorism. Like, nigga, stop. And people are waking up to this bullshit. Okay? The constant, they use the same narrative. Every bad guy they want to perpetrate, they use the same thing. Oh, he's a terrorist. They're terrorists. The same thing they're going to be doing here in America. Domestic terrorists. It's the same buzzwords. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't carry any weight. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're anti-Semite. Oh, you're a domestic terrorist. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. Okay? Come on with it, man. Let's go. All this talking that y'all devils is doing, come on with it, man. All right? The whole world is seeing your demise, bro. Everyone is seeing. America is being exposed for the bitch that she is, man. Okay? And the Lord said he's going to do that in Isaiah 47. So that's the times that we're in, man. It just goes downhill from here. And the more downhill it goes from here, the more desperate these devils are going to get. And the more desperate they get, the more draconian they're going to be. You're going to start seeing Trump acting out. You're going to see. Okay? You're going to see, because it's prophesied for him to go off. All right? That cruel Lord. Okay? It says Trump claimed that Tehran has circulated fabricated footage showing attacks on U.S. military assets, including alleged strikes on refueling aircraft and naval vessels. Well, guess what? If that wasn't the case, your Secretary of Defense, right? Because Congress still hasn't approved of it to be called Secretary of War or Department of War, so it's still Secretary of Defense / Department of Defense. Okay, you don't just go around as the executive branch. You don't go around changing shit like that. It's called checks and balances for a reason. This nigga done abused the whole Constitution, and you still got people still falling with this shit, man. You still got American people saying, oh, everything this nigga says, they say the same thing. They don't even research it. They don't question. They just go along with it until the government turns on them, because they've done it before and they're going to do it again. Remember 2020, 2021, when you didn't go along with it, they told you that you couldn't work, you couldn't get paid, you couldn't do nothing. The same thing is coming again. Okay. So they're saying. So again, my question is, if you have a decisive victory, why can't Pete Hegseth give a simple answer of how many casualties have been, or on the American side, in this war so far? He can't give an answer, because they're getting blown the fuck off out there in them lands, man. You talking about, oh, we need European countries to come and help us with those mines. I thought you was that nigga. What happened? Right? It says, according to the president, some of the images depict non-existent kamikaze boats and the U.S. Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier burning, which he dismissed as artificial intelligence, generated propaganda intended to portray Iran as militarily successful. He claimed that only one aircraft was damaged and remained out of service since the escalation on the war, not conflict, on the war on February 28th. Okay, so they're lying to the people. They're not letting the people know exactly what's going on. And the mainstream media is not playing ball like they used to. Okay, there's too many questions being asked that it makes them uncomfortable. Trump can't answer no questions right now. When you ask him a real question, he can't give you a solid answer. He cannot, because he doesn't know what the hell is going on. All right. One day he'll say this, the next day he says this. This nigga has single-handedly created a global war, and now he's creating a domestic war. That's what's coming. The global shit is going to impact domestically, whether people want to believe it or not. Okay? And soon you're going to start seeing people in the streets, storming the streets, rioting, right? You're going to see all these YNs wilding the fuck out. It's going to get crazy out here. And that is why I believe that's why they have preparations to have military troops in the streets starting in April. Okay? So expect all kinds of different shit. False flag attacks, you name it. It's going to be there. Okay? All kinds of different suddenly mass shit going on. I think today there was a fire burning on a rooftop somewhere in New York City, right? All of a sudden, it's just like randomly, like shit like that's going to be happening a lot. Okay? Big time monumental buildings just catch on fire. Just like that. Oh shit, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's a bombing that happened. Oh shit, what's going on? This city get bombed. That city get bombed. This city get bombed. That city. Next thing you know, it's like a bunch of cities get bombed all at the same time, the same day. That's enough for them to have ammo to push another narrative, another agenda, another outcome. Remember, problem, reaction, solution. Okay? Right now, they're desperate. They have to create a problem good enough, big enough, powerful enough, deadly enough to have the people react in the way they want so they could bring in that solution. Trump described the outlets that published the reports as corrupt and highly unpatriotic. All right, highly unpatriotic news organizations, adding that media spreading knowingly fake information should be brought up on charges for treason for the dissemination of false information. Well, if that's the case, all the media should be put on blast for what they did to people back in 2020, 2021. They were all part of it. Okay? Because they're all owned by just a few people. Like, what's his name? This nigga, Rupert Murdoch. Okay? Just the name, just one nigga that off the top of my head. Okay? And all this consolidation, right? Now you got this guy, Larry Ellison, buying into mainstream media power. Okay? It started with TikTok. I believe they're trying to get CNN as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So very soon they want to basically control it even to a higher degree. Forget about mainstream news media outlets. They want to go into the YouTubes and the Rumbles and the TikToks they already got, right? The Twitters or whatever you want to call it, X, whatever fuck, you know. But they want to gain control of information flow. That's what it boils down to, and threatening the news media with calling them fake information and treason and all this shit, bro. You are committing treason, nigga. Have you looked at that yet? You are committing treason. You're selling your American people out for the interest of Israel. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? You know what I'm saying? And I've never looked at myself as an American. I don't believe in that shit. America, what the fuck is that? Oh, you're an American. What the fuck is that? That's the worst thing you could be called. You're an American. You don't stand for nothing good. All right? This country has never stood for anything good. People say, I'm a proud American, especially Jakes that say that shit. It's just funny to me. It's like, yo, your ancestors were brought here on slave ships, bruh. How the fuck are you a proud American? There was a time where you were considered 3/5 of a man, you dummy. All right? But these people are the majority of them in the military that stand proudly with America. They're going to be sent overseas to get blasted. Trump is going to be sending your ass out there. The draft is coming. Get ready. Okay? It says here, the U.S. and Israel began coordinated strikes on the Islamic Republic in late February, triggering Iranian retaliatory attacks across the region. And that's what Trump was saying. We didn't know they were going to do that. Well, how are you going to go to war not knowing or expecting some things like this to happen? Somebody asked him a question. He said, yeah, with war, you can expect casualties. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's going to be happening. But they bullshitting people, man. Talking about, oh, this war has been won. It's decisive. Hexeth coming out talking about, we've won this. It's the media that hates Trump so much. Yeah, you just hate him so much that you're coming up with all these things to tell lies about how much we have not won this war. Guess what? We've won the war. Nigga, shut up. Shut your ass up, man. You shouldn't even be in that position, nigga. Shut your ass up. Take off that suit, put on the fatigues, take a gun and go out there and really show that the military how it's done. You know what I'm saying? You ain't running your mouth talking that shit. Shut your ass up, man. All you niggas is weak. All right, it starts from the president on down. They all weak. And very soon the Lord gonna show them. They're all weak ass niggas, man. All right? The Lord put you in this position so he could bring you down. Okay? And America is going down. Just like your President Trump, he's going down. If the Lord don't take his ass out soon. All right? Let's get this real quick. There's a book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And that's why these nations are treating America like that. There was a time where everybody would be at America's every beckoning call. But now they're pushing back. Everyone is rejecting America. You know what I'm saying? They're rejecting her shit, including the European countries. That's all part of NATO, by the way. Okay? The big guns in NATO, all right, are saying, nah, we're not with this shit. Okay? We're not with this shit. Where you're not justified in what you're doing. As a matter of fact, what you're doing is causing us harm. And we ain't with all that. Okay, so we're not going to be in support of coming to your aid to go open up the Straits of Hormuz. Nigga, if you wouldn't have attacked, we wouldn't have been dealing with this in the first place. Okay? It says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks. Okay? Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. So, in other words, you're being exposed for what? For public view. The public is the world and everybody's watching you because the Lord is exposing you devils, man. Just in time as prophecy is being played out right now. Okay, everybody knows who the bad guys are. It's all playing out. Okay, before the war starts, the Lord is showing who the bad guys are and who he's going to come here to destroy. Okay, because when it's all said and done, the whole world is going to be praying that somebody somewhere somehow could come in and put some order up in this motherfucker. Okay? And it's not going to be, we're waiting for America to come in. No. America has overstepped her boundaries, bro. She's in the fucking Middle East, man. You're all the way in the West. You're traveling all the way into the East to start some shit. Why? Just like General Wesley Clark. We have decided we're going to go to war with Iraq. And he said, why? Did they come with any new information about Saddam, anything? He said, no. They just decided they're going to go to war with Iraq. I was like, you see? The hammer of the earth. Okay? It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Okay, that's that shameful spewing upon your glory. Okay? Thy shame shall be seen. Okay? Your nakedness, your shame. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. In other words, the Lord's not going to have no pity on you, man. There'll be no sorrowness like, oh, I have a soft heart. I've done enough damage. It's enough. Let me stop. No, I will not meet thee as a man. Meaning the Lord is not going, he's not going to plead with you in the sense of you have a chance to plead your case. No, it's a mission to destroy. That's it. The Lord ain't say I have created the waster to destroy for nothing. He going to use them to destroy, to do exactly what they're created to do. All right. Just in time for our Lord, our Redeemer to come in and take his throne, man. Okay? So this is what's coming to America, man. The Lord said he's not going to meet you as a man. All right? He's coming down with war. He's here to fight against your ass, man. And he's going to destroy you. You will be decimated. All this power that you got going on around the world and causing all this mayhem is going to be done away with. Within 1 hour, you're going to see your downfall. Okay? Let's get that real quick. Man, America's done, man. We're watching this place just burn up internally. But soon it's gonna be open. Like people gonna see it, man. People gonna see everything that we've been saying. Okay, you're gonna see it, man. When you go into the bank and you can't get your money out and all this, people gonna see it. Okay, people gonna see it. This is a book of Revelation. There's a book of Revelation, chapter 18. Start off at verse 10. It says. Actually, start off at the whole chapter, man. The whole chapter is good. We'll start at 6. Revelation chapter 18, verse 6, because they love the number 6, so we're giving the number 6, right? It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled filled to her double. And who's that talking about? That's America. Okay, Babylon the Great. Okay, Babylon is fallen. That's America. And what did she do? She destroyed the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. While she had us in captivity here, she destroyed us as a people. Okay, now the Lord is building us back up and she's trying to fight that. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, that's why the Lord said if it were possible, they should have deceived the very elect, but it's not possible. Okay, that's your last attempt. It says how much she hath glorified herself, right? You got Trump pushing that bullshit about what do you call it? A golden age or something that he called it? America's golden age. What happened to all that? All those lavish promises that he was giving. You're gonna keep winning and winning. You're never you're gonna get so tired of winning. And what happened to all that? The tariffs. I'm gonna be sending you $2,000. What happened to all that, man? Now he about to draft your sons and daughters to go to war. It says, and lived, it says, how much she hath glorified herself, right? She lived luxuriously, she lived in pleasure, right? And lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, right? She boasting. I'm a queen, I got my throne. I am no widow and shall see no sorrow, right? I'm not helpless. I got help. I'm getting pimped out by Israel. What are you talking about? You know? It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Okay? So that's a sign of what? You being destroyed. Point blank period. Okay? By fire. All right? It says, the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay, 1 hour, America is going to see her judgment. Just like that. Okay, it's not going to take a day, it's not going to take 2 days, it's not going to take 3 days, a month, not 1 hour. Just like that. Okay. Let me get this. Let me jump down to verse 19. Verse 18 says, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, right? That fire, that destruction, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Okay? In a single moment, all this shit is all gone. Just like that. 1 hour, she's been made desolate, man. All right? So America, live it up, man. Live it up. And for you who's supporting all this bullshit, this injustice that's going on, guess what? Judgment is coming. All right? And that's why a lot of you going to take that chip and you're going to be destroyed when that destruction comes. Okay? Because you never stood for anything that's righteous any damn way. People got eyes, but they can't see. They have ears, but they can't hear. Also, the Lord could destroy them. Especially you 2/3 ass, wicked ass niggas, man. All right? But anyway, I'm ended off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.